My name is Leo Casey. I'm Executive Director of the Chancre Institute here at the American Federation of Teachers. We are sponsoring tonight's panel. The Chancre Institute was founded a number of years ago to honor the late AFT President Al Chancre, not with putting his name on a building or some such things that people are usually honored by, but by continuing his life of committed intellectual work. And so that is what we do around the three sets of issues that were central to Chancre's life, which are public education, trade unionism, and democracy promotion internationally. We're very pleased to host such a distinguished panel this evening. Before I begin, let me point out to you that a number of years ago, in collaboration with the Chinese Labor Bulletin, the Chancre Institute produced a book, A Cry for Justice, The Voices of Chinese Workers. We have copies outside for those of you who are interested. Jeannie Kemble's here, and she convinced me to put my blood, sweat, and tears into about 3.5 chapters of this book. So it's there to be read and to build people's knowledge of both the history and the current situation of workers inside China. So grab yourself a copy on the way out if you don't have one. The hashtag for today's event, because we are being live streamed in addition to our audience here at AFT headquarters, is hashtag organizing Walmart. The speakers for today's panel will proceed in the order that they are sitting to my left. And I'm going to introduce them all at once, so once we get started, I won't be interrupting again. The first speaker will be Nelson Lichtenstein, and by the way, there's much fuller biographies in your packet. I'm not going to, because I never was an assistant principal, I didn't learn how to read the memos that you give to people, so I'm just going to give you a few highlights. Nelson Lichtenstein is MacArthur Foundation Chair in History at the University of California, Santa Barbara, where he directs the Center for the Study of Work, Labor, and Democracy. He has written a number of books, including, I think, most relevant for today's discussion, The Retail Revolution, How Walmart Created a Brave New World of Business. He writes for Dissent magazine, the Los Angeles Times, and the New Labor Forum. Duan founded the first cooperative law firm in China in 1988 and a pioneering law firm in Sichuan in 2005. The name of that law firm, Lao Wei, means uphold workers' rights in China. And the lawyers in that firm have handled over 2,000 cases involving migrant workers in China. In addition to his work as a lawyer, Duan is a research fellow with the Institute of Labor and Social Security at Huan University and an adjunct professor of lawyer schools at Renmin University of China. And last, but far from least, Huandong Fang is a founder and executive director of the China Labor Bulletin, a Hong Kong-based labor rights group, and a member of the Albert Chancre Institute board. In May 1989, he was the co-founder and spokesperson of the Beijing Autonomous Workers Federation in the Tiananmen Square protests. He headed the Chinese government's most wanted list of worker activists issued after the June 4th crackdown and was imprisoned without trial for 22 months and placed in a prison where he deliberately contracted tuberculosis. He was released in April 1991 because of an international solidarity effort, which included American trade unions, and he came to the United States to receive medical treatment. He now heads the China Labor Bulletin, which is the main international organization supporting the work of the growing Chinese labor movement.